And on this week's Growing, Eating, and Educating, NanBop Farm Director Andrea Bushry shows us how to harvest zucchini and summer squash out of a garden.
The right tools and equipment can make all the difference when harvesting vegetables of the season. Let's take a look.
So let's head out to NanBop Farm and see what Andrea is up to.
Hey guys, welcome back to Growing, Eating, and Educating. I'm your Farm Director, Andrea Bushry, and today I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about how to harvest zucchini and summer squash. So I want to talk to you all about the different considerations we have and the equipment that we use. The first thing that we need when we start harvesting is our joey pouch. So this basically makes it so that we're not losing our squash and we don't have to hold it and jumble it all in our hands. So we just hook it up like this, and then we can stuff the pouch with all of our zucchini, and then we'll be able to unload once our joey pouch is full. The next thing that we'll need is our serrated knife. A lot of people like to twist their zucchini off, but a lot of times it creates just a little bit more risk to the plant or even to the fruit itself. So using a knife is just a better option. And then we also have our bin to unload our joey pouch into. So there are a bunch of different considerations to take when you're harvesting your squash. The first consideration is the size of it. So this is a pretty ideal size. You don't want it to be too long, otherwise you start to get more water content and it's really seedy. So this is the most ideal size for most cooking. The other thing to talk about is the squash flour. So there's always a flour at the end of this, and once it's dyed and it's brown and crusty, that's usually a sign that the squash is mature. The other thing is to take note of the color of the squash. So as it's growing, it starts out as like a lime green, and then as it matures, it turns into a dark green. With zucchini squash, it's about the same rule as zucchini. So we're looking for the dead flower, and same thing as the green zucchini, how it starts out a light green and then becomes darker. This one's a little bit smaller, but it's getting that golden color. And some people like their yellow squash to be a little bit smaller than what you would harvest your zucchini at. So again, it all just kind of comes down to preferences. The other thing that you want to note when you're harvesting is making sure you know where your knife is. It's pretty easy to think you're only cutting your zucchini, but then realize that you're in the stem of your plant, and then you're cutting your plant open, and then that means you're opening it up to diseases, pest pressure. So now I just need to unload my joey pouch, and then we will store these in the fridge. They're good for about a week or so in a standard refrigerator, and that's pretty much it with our squash. Stay tuned for more at NanBop Farm of how to harvest your vegetables.
And if you'd like to follow Farm Director Andrea Bushry and the locally owned and operated NanBop Farm, they have a Facebook page and Instagram at NanBop Farm. NanBop posts frequently all their events and what's growing on the farm. If you'd like to reach out to them with any questions about the farm, their email is info@nanbopfarm.com.